Have you ever walked away from a conversation and immediately started replaying it in your head? You know, that endless loop of, did I say the right thing? Was that joke actually funny? Oh no, I should have said this instead. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. This is the world of social overthinking, and it's a place many of us live in. So what's really going on in our brains when we get stuck in these conversational postmortems? It often boils down to a few key psychological drivers. First up is something called the spotlight effect. This is the tendency to believe that people are paying way more attention to us than they actually are. We feel like there's a giant spotlight on our every word and action, so any tiny mistake feels like a huge, embarrassing blunder. But the reality? Most people are way too busy worrying about their own spotlight to notice ours. Another major player is a fear of negative evaluation. We're social creatures, hardwired to want to belong and be accepted. Overthinking is often our brain's misguided attempt to protect us from rejection. We analyze every detail, trying to predict and prevent any possible social misstep. It's like our mind is trying to write a perfect script for every interaction. But life, as we know, is completely unscripted. This can be especially intense for people with social anxiety, where the fear of judgment is dialed up to a 10. Then there's the perfectionism trap. Some of us hold ourselves to incredibly high standards in everything, including our conversations. We want to be witty, charming, insightful, and funny all at once. When we feel we've fallen short of that impossible ideal, we beat ourselves up for it. We treat a simple chat like it's a final exam, and anything less than an A+ feels like a failure. But conversations aren't performances, they're connections. They're meant to be a little messy and imperfect. This constant mental replay is exhausting, right? It can drain our energy and make us dread future social situations. We might even start avoiding them altogether, which only makes the cycle worse. So how do we break free? The first step is awareness. Simply recognizing when you're falling into the overthinking trap is a huge win. When you catch yourself replaying a conversation, gently label it. There's that overthinking again. Next, try to challenge those negative thoughts with a dose of reality. Ask yourself, is it really likely that they're still thinking about that one awkward thing I said? The answer is almost always no. People have their own lives, their own worries, and their own awkward moments to obsess over. Practice a little self-compassion. It's okay to not be perfectly smooth all the time. In fact, our little quirks are often what make us relatable and human. One powerful technique is to ground yourself in the present moment. When you feel your mind spiraling after a chat, bring your attention to your physical senses. What are 5 things you can see right now? 4 things you can feel? 3 things you can hear? This mindfulness practice pulls you out of the mental chaos and back into the real world. It reminds your brain that the conversation is over and it's safe to move on. Finally, focus on the purpose of conversation, which is connection, not perfection. Instead of analyzing your own performance, try to focus on being genuinely curious about the other person. Listen to what they're saying, not just to plan your perfect response. When you shift your focus outward, you leave less mental space for self-criticism. It's a process, and it won't change overnight. But with a little practice, you can turn down the volume on that inner critic and start enjoying your conversations again. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more content on navigating our wonderfully complex minds. See you next time.